Alright, so what's up YouTube? Every once in a while I'll get out of my lane and I'll do a video that has nothing to do with personal watercraft. And so today, one of those videos, I'm sitting in a 2013 Kia Soul, and the problem or the issue with this thing is the blower doesn't work. No air comes out of the vents. It did before and it has stopped. And so there are other videos out there with the blower motor resistor or the blower motor doing tests, swapping those out. And that's what I thought this was going to be. But I want to show you something that's a little different. And if I can save you some money on a do-it-yourself job, then keep your car out of the shop or the dealership, then maybe this video will help. But I already ordered a resistor, so I figured that's what the problem was. Hopefully, I was hoping that was the problem, because that's the easiest thing to swap out. The blower motor is a much harder job. Anyway, I went ahead and ordered this, and it came in, and then I crawled down here. The resistor on a 2013 model is just below my feet here, up around the gas pedal of this thing. Previous years, I can't remember if it's 2012 or maybe 2014. The resistor is going to be behind the glove box. But anyway, 2013, it's going to be right down here at the brake and gas pedals. Anyway, so I got down there. I was going to pull the old one out, put this new one in, and that's when I discovered maybe what could be the issue. But I've already, if you can see, I've already got a wiring harness, pigtail, whatever you want to call it, connected to it. I just did that. Let me see if I can get it off. So I turned around and I ordered this, because once I got under here, I discovered that the head of this wiring harness, pigtail or whatever, it had totally melted, and like the wires had burnt all the way out or down the line. So that's probably our problem. And if it's not, hopefully the combination of these two will fix this car. But anyway, that's the purpose of the video. We're going to get under there. We're going to see where and how we can cut the wires underneath here and splice this new pigtail in. And let's see if that'll fix our problem and get some air going in this car. All right, so I've put up a couple of lights down here to so that we can see. Let me show you what I'm talking about and where this resistor is down here. But first, I've already unplugged it. And you can see the head here of this pigtail, and check out the melting, burnt head of this thing, and also the wiring coming out of it is totally exposed there. It's got some tape here, so I don't know if the previous owner had done some work here. I'm going to cut this off and we're going to find out. But right up here, and I'm sorry if I'm trying to get, if you can see where my finger is, that is where the resistor is. The old one is in there. Let me see if I can get a light back up there. It's pretty tight, but right back in there, held in by maybe a screw or two, and that's the resistor. And as I said, I've already unplugged this here. So my next step here, I'm gonna let's see if I can get this panel off. And as I mentioned, I'm going to have to, I can't do this one-handed, so I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to cut this tape here, expose some wiring. I may have to cut it back here to see what I'm dealing with, and to see if maybe we've already had some work done splicing some wires in here. Anyway, somewhere in here is where I'm going to cut, and we're going to splice these wires, put a new pigtail, and let's see if this fixes our problem. So let me bring you back just a minute. Alright, so moving back under here, I don't see where work has been done before. So that's good, but you can see the damage there as I've peeled back or pulled off the tape that had wrapped all this up there. So I think I'm going to cut it just right up here. And these look good. And so cut it right up here, and then we're going to splice this in. So let me show you what came with the new pigtail that I got. So here's the pigtail I bought. I got it off Parts Geek here, and I've already cut the end of the wires, got those kind of prepped, ready to go. It came with its own, we call these butt connectors or whatever, so that's good. I didn't have to worry about buying these extra. So what I'm going to do is I've got to line these up. And so I've got yellow, and by the way, I have unplugged the battery. If you're going to do this, go ahead and just make sure you disconnect the battery. But so we've got to match these wires up, and so I've got multiple colors of tape here. So what I'm going to do is cut these, and what I can, and mark these to make sure after I cut that up here that I get everything lined up exactly as it is with the pigtail here. Now I don't have the exact colors, but I think I've got 2 or 3 of them here. We'll see. But anyway, let me see if I can go ahead and cut this one-handed. I've got actually two yellow, a red, and a white. This is harder than I thought, trying to get this in one hand. Alright, next step, we're going to get these wires cut back, exposed there, so we can get the connectors hooked there. And right now we're going to mark these with the tape on here to make sure that I get them connected to the right colored wires coming out of this, the head of this little ponytail here. So anyway, let me do that, and I'll bring you back in just a minute when I get this prepped and ready to go. Alright, so let me bring you back in. This is a very small, this is a small car and a very tight fit in here. So I apologize if you're not seeing everything I did, but I clipped those wires back here, and I crimped on these, what are they, butt connectors? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I got those on there, and then I used a lighter instead of a heat gun in this close quarters in here, and so got them tightly fitted to the wires, and I can't remember even where I left off, guys, but as you can see, I marked these individual wires to make sure I matched them up. So I got red on red. I did 2 separate yellows here, representing this wire up here that's connected to is yellow and black. It's yellow with a black stripe. So just to make sure, then a full yellow to yellow, and then a white to white up here. So what I'm about to do now is connect the battery first, and make sure we don't have any smoke or anything coming in here. And I don't know what caused the issue with the previous one here, but there's a look at what I cut out, and you can see the damage and the melting and burning. So I'm gonna, and I've already connected the new resistor. The old one's still there. It still may be good because we never really fully tested it, but we'll know. Got the brand new one hooked up. I'm going to connect the battery, and Then we're going to turn the car on, put the key in, turn it on, and let's see if this was the problem of why we're not getting any air blowing through the vents. So hold on a minute, let me connect the battery and I'll be right back. Alright, so the battery is now connected, and let's see if I can do this one hand. Feel up here, put this key in, and I can't find it. Let's see. Alright, the key is in. Alright, so I'm not getting anything. Nothing is working still. Let me see here if I make sure I'm doing this blind. Well, unfortunately, it's not the transistor, and it must be the blower motor. So it has already been a while, and we got online, ordered a new blower motor. I got this from Rock Auto. So now we start the process of, I'm going to take the paneling off here and a bracket, and I don't know, we'll see. There's probably going to be more I'm going to have to take off, the brake pedal. I'll do the best I can to film it, but we'll see as I go along and get this blower motor out. Alright, real quick here to drop this panel is it just pops out up here, but there's only 2 screws at the bottom, 2 small Phillips screws here that loosened it from the bottom here, and like I said, I just pried it out from the top very easy and dropped it. So I'm about to disconnect here and here and let's get this out of the way. And then I guess I'm going to move on, and I'm going to get this bracket out of the way, and I'll go from there, and let's see what else I might have to take out to create room to not only get up there to it, but also to get the old one out and get the new one in. So like I said, we're going to get this bracket out, and we'll see where we go from there. Alright, so bringing you in here. After getting the plate off here in the front, so I've just unbolted the power steering box here, and I've just unplugged one connector so far, so I've got one more on the right side if you're looking into the vehicle like this. So I've got 2, looks like 3 to unbolt on this side, and it looks like that'll just free it up, and I could just drop it off, and of course that creates more room. And then I think the next step is maybe brake pedal, and I might take out, I think there's 1 screw, I'm not sure, holding this little plastic, I don't even know what it is really, but when I crawled under here, this could be a possible interference for me getting that old one and the new one in. We'll see, but anyway, hopefully just the brake pedal and that, and then we'll be ready to get the blower out. Alright guys, so here is the brake pedal that I just removed, and it's just too tight for me to put a camera down there in this small car. But let me show you what it is. The very top is just a nut, 12mm nut. Then you've got 4 here that right here that also 12. Pulled those out, and I did have this one other connector up here, but that was it, and it came right on out. So now back in here, you see the space that I have created. I just left. I'm going to hopefully just leave this box hanging instead of just unplugging everything, because it gives me all this room over here. And that light's probably brightened. So I'm going to now get upside down and see. Oh, on the brake, I forgot one other thing. It's laying in here. Let me put it back out here together. So there's a pin. The easy part, you'll see that pin. Nope, that's not it. Sorry, that's one of the other bolts that I took out. So I can't even see, being blinded by the light. Here it is. Sorry about that. So here's the pin that I took out. And so that is all the components of the brake that I have removed. So really not that hard. I think the hardest thing when I go back in is to get this one. If I can get it fed with my fingers on there, I think I'll be okay. It's kind of tough. I had to use, oh, if I can get it here, because of the angle that it kind of sits in. So that's what I had to use to get it out. So now, if I'm not blinding you, and I put a rag back here so that when I unfasten those nuts that were right up here, right up there, if I am pointing the right, don't let them fall down in there. You'd be pulling this carpet back trying to find the nuts. So like I said, I'm going to get upside down now and see what kind of room I've got. I'm still planning on, I think there's one screw at the top. We'll see. And that should open it up. Give me enough room, I'm hoping. So, okay, let me get in here and I'll bring you in at the next spot. All right, real quick, let me show you the blower up in here before I take it out. So let me slide you up here, and there she is right there. So I think I've got 3 Phillips head screws to remove and the power source to pull from the top, and maybe hopefully she'll come right on out, and hopefully I've created enough room here. But that's what you're going to see if you're doing this, and if you removed everything that I have removed. So so let me get back under here and let's get that out. All right, so the old blower motor is out, and as I mentioned a little earlier, I put that rag down in below the brake over here inside the car so that I wouldn't lose the nuts and stuff. Well, it didn't work completely. I lost one of the 3 screws that goes on here, so I'm gonna have to go find a screw. I've already pulled some. I'm gonna see if they'll work. Anyway, just if you're doing this, you know, put something back there to catch it, because if it drops down in behind your carpet, you know, I pulled the carpet back a little bit, but I'm not, at this point, I'm not gonna go searching for a small screw if I can find a replacement. All right, and I did connect this to a 12-volt battery. Nothing happened. So definitely is the blower motor that is out, at least not working. At least I know this is not working. So hopefully we get the new one in, and I may test it before we even get it all the way back up in there. But anyway, let me stop and get that new one in. All right, guys, so everything is back in, and you can probably tell we've got a blower. We got a lot of air coming through the vents now. All I did was just reverse all the steps that I took in taking out the old blower, and once I got the new one in, like I said, I just reversed the steps, and now we have air again. So I hope this helps someone else out there that maybe has a 2013 and You're not sure if it's your resistor or your blower motor. But anyway, I'm glad that it's just the blower motor. We're good at the condenser, we're good at the compressor, and everything else. So guys, if you watch me all the way through, I do appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next video, which will probably be on a jet ski. See you guys.